What up, what up, what up, what up, what up, what up? What's good, people? What is up? What is that? They went from the fourth level of hell and sent us down to the seventh level of hell. Why? Because then you got Kwanzaa pulling out her titties. The whore pulled out her titties. And these whore bags over here started feeling and fondling on her tits. What?
I don't have it to do with you. Girl, you can go over there, rant and rave. Girl, you can shake all your rainbow bright hair all you want, dear one. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this with you, dear one. I'm not doing this with you, dear one. I don't have nothing to do with you, and I'm done. Baby, you can scream my name from the rooftops from now till Jesus come back. I'm done after this.
Introduced to Tick's meat. Do you see what I see? Did y'all really hello, casting, wardrobe, y'all let him roll up out of wardrobe with these pants on, giving us all of this, thinking we were not going to see it? We have been waiting with bated breath and anticipating all season long for the slightest glimpse, and y'all just put it out there this episode in all of its magnificent glory.
Listen, that young man said, baby, you ate on this first date, you giving up the cooch on the first date, okay? Well, you gonna run me my coins. Run me my cooch or run me my coins. Run me my cooch or run me my coins. Run me my cooch or run me my coins. That's our new theme song. That is the new song. Listen, somebody need to put a beat to that. Run me my cooch or run me my coins. Run me my cooch or run me my coins. That's what y'all got going on.
Called out Sandcastle. Sand, bitch. Ow. Oh my God, it was so funny, girl. Woo, baby, listen, let me tell you something. This shit started to turn into the precursor for some gay porn. That's what I thought it was. Because Big T is getting all, the voice starting to go deeper and get a little more wet and moist and sentimental and all this shit. And it was real gay at this point. Like, I thought the bitches was going to, I thought Lil Murda was going to turn Big T around and do him like he did Uncle Cliff and do the grease it up with City Lou and ran right in there. It's not a coincidence that Big T started off the conversation by trying to find out if Lil Murda was fucking Mercedes, which he found out he's not. It's also not a coincidence that he would start talking about prison. Why? Because the bitches was probably fucking in prison. Girl. Uncle Clifford, you better go get your man. Big T got plans for that. What he had on looked like something Big Bird vomited up or something like that. Like, I did not like it. That Big Bird couture he was going for, it did not work. Like the pastor of a gay mega church on Easter Sunday. Okay, it was way too much sequins. He had way too much makeup. Baby, his face looked like Iyanla Vanzant's neckline. Okay, just way too much makeup, clumped in everywhere on his face. Get it together, sweetheart. Like, you're a big girl, so that gives you a whole lot of canvas. So that was a whole lot of makeup, honey. And Rico looked like he was auditioning to be one of the three kings, or he was auditioning to be the main character on Jesus Christ Superstar. Girl, Wayne, did you have on a blue thong or a blue G-string or something? If you did, I want to see Cassie. Get me up in my DMs, I do want to see if you have a blue thong or a blue, jock strap or something like that. I'd love to see it. Anyway, but I liked it with the turtleneck. Now, Troy.
Well, hello. We are here. What's going on? I got too high. Let me go down a little bit. All right, there we go. Hey, everyone. How art thou? How is everyone doing? I hope that you are indeed having a terrific Tuesday. I hope that you're enjoying yourself and having a good time. We are here. The first of 2 lives today. God help me. It's been a hell of a day at work, but nevertheless, we're here. Oh God. I don't know how I'm gonna make it through 2 lives, but y'all, we gonna make it. We gonna make it. Ooh. Anyway, what's going on, y'all? I'm so glad to have you here today with me. Hope we can add some fun, and hilarity to your Tuesday. Have a little fun, shake it up a little bit. Then we'll take a little break and we'll be back at 8 o'clock. Programming note, tonight at 8 p.m. we will be having the Real Housewives of Potomac review panel. with me and Darren and Medusa. I'm gonna try to see if I can get really B to bring her ass up here. We're gonna try. Know how successful I'm gonna be, but we gonna try. So what's up, everybody? What's going on? Let's get in and get out so I can rest up and have enough energy for the panel tonight. If you have not done so already, my review for Potomac is up. Yeah, it's up. Um, oh my God, Xavier, did you see my review? Xavier, did you see my review, Xavier? Let me say hey to y'all as y'all come in. Um, hold on. Hey, Janae Boo, what's going on? Tracy C, Diamond Pearl Gem, Tracy W, Montrez, what's good, bruh? Xavier, what's good? Little bro. Volvo, hey, Cookie. Monk Chip, hey, my love, hey, boo. You working, but Monk Chip, you know they be working you way too hard, way too hard. Okay, so she is a lot of liars, Xavier. The reason I asked Xavier, had you seen the review, it was not elder abuse. But because I wanted to know, had you ever heard of Henrietta Hippo or the new Zoo review? The Doublemint twins are in the house. Listen, had you ever heard of the new Zoo review, or was that a new phenomenon for you? Now, the new Zoo review is older than me as well. Like it came out before I was even alive, but I saw it in syndication on PBS. Like as a little boy, they used to syndicate stuff from like the 70s and stuff when I was a little boy in the 80s. So I had seen, I had seen it a couple times on PBS. And it just came to me, y'all. It literally just came to me like she do look like Henrietta, Henrietta Hippo. Yeah, the new Zoo review was a whole thing back in the day. hmm Like it came out before I was born, but saw it. I thought about it. So yeah, there's that. Um, see, my PBS showed us Sagwa and Clifford and Arthur. Oh, okay. That was after me, honey. There was no Arthur when I was little. There was no Sagwa. I don't even know what that was. What that is. There was no Clifford. Clifford is the big red dog, right? That's the big red dog. They ain't have none of that. None of it. None of it. So anyway, one day you and Tracy are going to admit Sharice look. She did not look good. You know what, Xavier? I went to the episode and I said, let me take another look. That whore looked horrible. We'll talk about it more tonight. We'll talk about it some more tonight on the panel. I ain't gonna, I'm gonna save a little bit for the panel tonight. But I had my voice was ready to hit the song. My voice was ready to hit the song for the Omen babies. Okay, Damien and Damien Jr. We had to get our vocals in place for the Omen babies. So had to hit that and all of that. But we'll talk about more Potomac tonight on the review panel at 8 o'clock. Y'all make sure y'all come back round at 8 o'clock for the review panel. Anyway, so I've seen men in dresses that look, I'm not doing this with you. I'm not doing this with Tracy. I'm not doing this with her. Anyway, listen, y'all. So listen, I did it not look like them kids were in imminent danger? We not listen, Xavier, we're gonna save it for tonight. We're gonna save Potomac for tonight. Anyway, um, hey MVN, hey Boo, what's going on, my love? Good to have you here. You know I love when you're in the live chat. So I'm glad to have you here. So listen, y'all, today I'm gonna start with our sugar spike moment. So, ladies and gentlemen, non-binary gender conforming members of our audience, it's time for your sugar spike segment.
Oh, God. You see, this is the part that I like.
Major sugar spike.
So long, well, I want to fight. That he gave, his only begotten son.
Major sugar spike.
And shall ever believe.
Major sugar spike.
They shall not perish, but have everlasting life.
Taste the biscuit.
I wish somebody help me.
Listen, we love us some Larry Myers over here, okay? So I got, oh my God. Listen, yesterday I had somebody reached out to me yesterday, excuse me, and they really poured their heart out. Hey, Yvette, after the story from Africa yesterday, I had somebody really, they sent me a long message yesterday where they really, the story from Africa really bothered them and touched them and things like that. And they were the young man told me, he said he just really wasn't aware things like that was going on over there in Africa. And I was like, yeah, stuff like that has been going on for a while. Xavier, you sent me a message on TikTok. Xavier, you know I don't check TikTok like that. You might as well just send me an email or a DM on Instagram. You knew I don't check TikTok like that. Child, anyway. So, let me get my Christmas tree cake ready for. So, in our first sugar spiky moment. But yes, man, the young man reached out. He sent me a letter. He said, listen, I don't really come out of the bushes. I watch you from the bushes. I enjoy your platform. He said, and I know you do a lot of sugar spiky moments, but he said that story from Africa really, moved him. And he even sent me a cash app. He said, listen, I absolutely appreciate you making us informed. And, he started going into different organizations that he's aware of, and he's going to make them aware of what's going on. And as I bring up different things like that, he'll let them be aware because more has to be done. Oh, okay. I'll go look at it, Xavier. I'll go look at it. Don't worry. Because I think I saw a video of it, but I'm going to go look at it. Because I think I saw, because they were smoking a hookah. Somebody was smoking a hookah in the video, if it's a video that I remember seeing, because Nelly was standing up and Janet was sitting down on the couch next to Milk Dud Head, so deaf man, well, I can't think of it. Jermaine Dupri. Yes. Thank you to all of the people in the comment section for my video. I could not think of Mother Dorothy's name. I don't know why I wanted to call her every other D female name that starts with the D except for Dorothy. I could not think of that woman's name on my video. Listen, Montrez, I guess we are. So listen, I'm stalling because the sugar spike stories today are no less spiky than they were yesterday. I'm just letting you know they're no less spiking. Anyway, not Diablo. Hey, Sharice Boo. So let me give you this story out of San Jose, California. So let me read this to you. A San Jose police officer has resigned after the police department found numerous disgusting text messages that demonstrated racial bias, according to a statement by the San Jose Police Department. Now, please be clear, the story ain't just about these text messages. There's a whole story to this. Have a seat, take a sit down. Hey, Spicy Original, have a seat, grab your piece of candy, anything sweet, because this story is about to get real sugar spiky, real spiky. Let me start it back over because I want you to really embrace all that's going on in this story. A San Jose police officer has resigned after the police department found numerous disgusting text messages that demonstrated racial bias, according to a statement by the San Jose Police Department. The text messages related to a 2022 shooting incident in which the officer shot a college football player who had wrestled a gun from a perpetrator during a fight at a local taqueria. In the statement released on Friday, the San Jose Police Department identified Mark McNamara as the officer, saying the department found the messages during an unrelated criminal investigation into one of their officers. Quote, there is zero tolerance for even a single expression of racial bias at the San Jose Police Department. And that's coming from the police chief, Anthony Mata, in a statement. He also said that the investigation determined that a current employee who was on the receiving end of some of the messages engaged in other concerning dialogue with the former officer. The other employee has not been identified by the San Jose Police Department, but was immediately placed on administrative leave pending an internal investigation, according to the statement. In March of 2022, then 20-year-old Kawan Green, who is black, I should say, was at a taqueria in San Jose when a fight ensued. One of the perpetrators pulled out a gun, which Kawan wrestled out of the man's hand. He then shot forth. So here's the deal. There was a fight that broke out. Kawan was not involved. But just so nobody got hurt, Kawan managed to wrestle the gun out of the man's hand. Here's where the story gets interesting. So Kawan is the hero in all of this, okay? Black boy, college football player, 20 years old. He's the hero. He saved somebody from perhaps getting killed, right? He was then shot 4 times by Officer McNamara, who was responding to the scene as Green was backing out of the door of the taqueria. So he wrestles the gun out of the man's hand, gets the gun, and is coming out of the door of the restaurant, and the officer that came there to respond shot the black boy, because I guess he immediately assumed it must be the black man that has committed these atrocities, although he's the hero in all of this. It gets better. So what they're saying is this white police officer shot the hero in this whole case, shot him 4 times. The boy ended up hospitalized. So the officer who shot him is the officer who now they're saying has a history of bias and was sending these racially charged text messages to his fellow officer. That's the background of all of this, okay? In one message sent in the aftermath of the shooting, Officer McNamara, who is white, said he was, quote, just out here clapping fools, end quote. A term Kawan Green's lawyer, civil rights attorney, Adante Pointer, said is a slang term that officers use for, quote, shooting gangsters, end quote. Kawan, who is now 22, says he's still processing the whole incident. During the press conference where he spoke publicly for the first time since they found out about these text messages. Kawan said, I never thought somebody could just have that much hatred in their heart to where they would want to kill me just because of what I look like. Listen, let me help y'all understand something, kiddos, little kids, because it baffles my mind sometimes how much our younger generation is disillusioned about the true nature of this country. I grew up where my parents, my grandparents, those of influence around me taught me early on, those motherfuckers don't like you. They think you're horrible. They don't think you're human. They want nothing to do with you. This country is horrible and racist, and white people don't like us. But I get so baffled that young people nowadays seem to be living in some alternate reality where they think that this country isn't as horrible and as racist as it is. Anyway, I got sidetracked. Let me keep reading. Following this shooting, Kawan Green filed a federal lawsuit against Officer McNamara, the San Jose Police Department, and the city of San Jose for excessive force and the city's related liability in the incident. In another message sent by Officer McNamara after he was deposed by Kawan's legal team, he said, quote, I hate black people, end quote. In the 10-page document released by the San Jose Police Department containing Officer McNamara's text messages, he frequently used racial slurs when referring to Kawan Green and his legal team. This is after you shot this boy who was doing nothing but doing the job that you were supposed to do as the police officer. Black man had to save the day, get the gun out of this man's hand so somebody didn't end up dead, and now you're shooting the whole hero in this whole thing. And what happens? Because you mad, because the man got mad because you shot him for no reason. Now you got to go out here calling him all kinds of N-words, all using all types of racially charged language and things like that about him and his team, which further proves your racism, discrimination, and bigotry. Kawan, who was a college football player at Contra Costa College and still dreams of a career in the NFL, said during the press conference he had to sit out the entire 2022 football season and has been suffering from depression since the shooting. It's ridiculous. It is so ridiculous. But here's the deal. Officer McNamara never was fired. He resigned. They allowed him to resign. Instead of the San Jose Police Department doing what they were supposed to do and firing this asshole, they allowed him to stay employed, getting money from taxpayer dollars, and he eventually resigned of his own volition. Here's what the San Jose Police Department Officers Association, the police union, said. Quote, The recent announcement of racial text messages by a former police officer is a disconcerting reminder that not everyone has the moral compass necessary to be in the law enforcement profession. This behavior is beyond unacceptable, and we condemn it in the strongest possible terms. A mess. A mess. A whole ass mess. Sue everybody. Sue a former officer McNamara, sue the police department, sue the police chief, sue San Jose police department, sue the city of San Jose, sue any and everybody, sue all the ass, all of them. Because what that shows is because here's the deal: the police department would have gone and nothing would have had to happen to Officer McNamara. Hey, Lemon Kush. Hey, Lamone. Hey, everybody coming in. The police were never going to do anything to Officer McNamara. They had said that he was justified because he was responding to a situation where they said a gun was involved, and Officer McNamara came there with the thought that he was protecting those involved, those inside the restaurant, which is a bunch of bull. Officer McNamara saw a black man with a gun and immediately assumed that the black man was the perpetrator, the one killing everybody, and shot the man who was actually the hero in it, and left to his own volition, had no remorse, had no intention on ever apologizing, no intention on saying, my bad, I shouldn't have did this, this shouldn't have went down that way. Rather began sending more racially charged and racially insensitive text messages about him after he shot this man, using all types of horrible racial epithets and all types of charged language. And y'all were just going to let him stay there. And fuck you to that police union as well, because y'all got all of these strong statements after the man resigned. Where was this energy? This happened last March. This happened March of last year. You know what? You know that you didn't hear? What did you? Somebody tell me, what in this whole thing have we not heard? I'm going to tell you what you did not hear in this whole thing is the DA in the great city of San Jose saying that Officer McNamara was being brought up on charges. That's what you did not hear. You heard Kawan saying that he and his people and his lawyers have brought a lawsuit, but you didn't hear the DA. You didn't hear the police chief say, oh, we immediately fired him. We heard of no repercussions to this officer. Rather, you allow him to resign, which allows him to keep his pension, which allows him to keep his certifications, which allows him to go to the next police force right in the next neighborhood a couple blocks over and still have a job and collect taxpayer dollars. That's what y'all got going on. Here's the fuck shit y'all got going on in these yet to be United States of America. Exactly, Tracy. Where was the investigation? And none of it. None of it. Let me tell you something. If, let's say, for example, because I hate these separate rules for police than there are for regular people. Because you can go and gun down somebody, an innocent bystander, gun them down and have no repercussions. But if my black ass go and gun somebody down, I'm going to be under the jail. Fucking bullshit. In more sugar spiky news, since we're here, I'm telling you, we have no shortage of spikiness today. We have no shortage of fucking spikiness today. God of mercy, God of goddamn love. Because one of these stories really gonna send you overboard. Oh, I got a story in the Sugar Spike segment that's really gonna send you. Because here's the deal. America wants to uh, uh, wants to put makeup on the pig and tell us it's not a pig anymore. You can't throw fancy uniforms and fancy cars on the slave patrol and try to tell us it's still not the fucking slave patrol. This is still the slave patrols from 1823 in fucking 2023. Don't tell me that it's not. You're not going to sit up here and piss on me and tell me it's fucking rain. You want to put makeup on the pig and act like it's not a fucking pig. You want to put fancy uniforms, fancy squad cars on the slave patrol and act like we don't still see them for who they are, from who they were from their inception. The goddamn slave patrols out there to keep the niggers in line, and that's how they feel. I'm sorry I have to be that blunt about it. That's the fuck we got going on. Hold on one second, y'all. Anyway, let's travel over to the great state of Wisconsin. Let's go over to the great state of Wisconsin. We have no shortage of spikiness today. I'm just telling you. No shortage. In the great state of Wisconsin, let's go over to the University of Wisconsin. Let me let y'all in on what the fuck they got going on over here. So at the University of Wisconsin, here's what happened. Last month, the Republican-controlled state legislature in the great state of Wisconsin decided to withhold pay raises for the University of Wisconsin employees. Why? Why would they be withholding pay raises from University of Wisconsin employees? You want to know why? Here's why. They withheld the university employees' pay raises over the school's diversity, equity, and inclusion policies. Not that they were bad, but they didn't want them to have any. A mess. Republicans have said they will continue to deny tens of thousands of employees pay increases until the school system agrees not to spend any money on diversity training and programming. It's worth noting that the state has $7 billion surplus, budget surplus. Let me say that again. The state has a $7 billion with a B dollar surplus. And the Republicans in that state, in the Republican-led legislature, which is why I keep telling you people to go vote, have said, we ain't giving y'all no pay raises until the university system gets away with the all diversity training. Because we want no part of them knowing how to deal with people of different racial backgrounds, ethnic backgrounds, religious background, orientations, or anything like that. We don't want any parts of people knowing how to deal with those people in the workplace. We want no parts of that. This is what we got going on in America. I told you we have no shortage of fucking spikiness. Quote, this is coming from the Democratic Senate Minority Leader, Melissa Agar. She said, quote, we are denying pay increases to half of our state workforce because of one person's resistance to inclusion on our campuses. And she was specifically talking about the Republican Assembly Speaker, Robin Voss, who has led the charge in fighting against DEI. This isn't the only time Wisconsin Republicans have gone after the University of Wisconsin system over diversity efforts. The state legislature slashed $32 million from the school's system, from the school system's budget, and denied a request for additional funds to keep up with inflation. In total, the school system, which is one of the highest ranked in the nation and a significant attraction for the state, will end up roughly $500 million short on funding, all because these people want to ensure that their racism, discrimination, and bigotry is carried out perpetually. They want you to know. And if that means that you don't get your raises, they don't give a shit. If that means that enrollment at the university schools goes down, they don't give a shit. I got a news flash for you, Wisconsin. People ain't just coming to fucking cold ass Wisconsin for no fucking reason. So I would venture to imagine the only reason people go up to fucking Wisconsin is football teams and fans that's going up there to watch the Green Bay Packers play whoever, and people in the university system. So what they're saying is, we don't give a shit. So what y'all got going on? Republicans argue that the $32 million is being spent on diversity efforts, but the president of the university system says that these cuts could mean having to shut down some of their campuses. The school system is attempting to find a workaround to recoup money by proving that they're spending it on workforce development. However, the Republican leader has said that he wouldn't approve a plan to spend on workforce development until the school cut any spending on diversity programs. They don't care. They don't give a shit. In other spiky news, since we're spiking the fuck out, we have a second acquittal of one of the officers involved in the murder of Elijah McClain. Nathan Woodyard was acquitted on charges of reckless manslaughter and criminally negligent homicide just yesterday. He's the one who put Elijah McClain in the chokehold. I remember when I heard the story of Elijah McClain, and I just sat there watching the television and just began to cry, because one of the things that came out about it is Elijah McClain knew he had difficulties and was, on the spectrum of autism spectrum, but he told them, he said, listen, it does. I'm just different. He said, please don't treat me like this. I'm just different, and it just broke me, and I just can imagine a person in the last moments of their life pleading, just saying to him, hey, I didn't do anything. It's not like that. I'm just different. And they said, the witnesses said, he just kept telling them, I'm different. I'm just different. It broke me down, took me all the way out. And these people choked this boy, took a powerful sedative, injected it into this boy, and he subsequently died. And y'all don't see any problem with that, right? No problem with that. Because, see, it's just not enough for these people to get charged and have to go to trial. We have to finish the deal. And when you have juries out here that consistently acquit these people, and then sometimes we get a conviction and we have feckless bullshit ass judges sitting on the benches that don't want to execute full sentences for these assholes and fucktards and murderers. These people are stone cold murderers, but we don't get no convictions. But we get executions for people just walking down the street being black. Nothing for the murderers, though. Nothing. I'm not going to spend too much longer on this Elijah McClain story because I feel myself get emotional and I need to back out of this story before I take myself down the road. So I need to take myself out of that story before I take myself down the road. But I just wanted to give y'all that update. In more fucking sugar spiky news, a landlord in the great state of New York who was upset over unpaid rent is now accused of setting the apartment on fire while the tenants were inside. I don't know what the fuck y'all want from me today. What do y'all want from me today? What the hell do you want from me today? This is what I got to deal with. I'm spiking out, y'all. Hold on. Give me a moment. I'm spiking the hell out. A Brooklyn landlord was arrested on Friday, a month after a wait. Let me read this sentence and let you grapple with this. A Brooklyn landlord was arrested on Friday, a month after he was accused of setting a building on fire with residents inside over unpaid rent, said the fire department of New York. So let me get this straight. You set fire to this apartment with the people in it, and they waited a whole fucking month, before deciding to lock your ass. Oh, it gets better. Rafiqul Islam was arrested on November 3rd for setting an interior staircase on fire at an apartment in South Brooklyn after getting angry at his second floor tenants for not paying the rent and refusing to move out, said the fire department of New York in the news release. Quote, and here's where it gets worse. 2 adults and 6 children were home at the time of the fire and escaped. Interviews with the fire victims revealed Mr. Islam had been threatening to cut off their gas and electric and ultimately threatened to burn the house down if he wasn't paid his rent. End of fucking quote. Authorities said that video footage from the day captured a masked and hooded man enter and leave the building shortly before the first 911 call. Marshals spent 4 weeks conducting an extensive video canvass to verify the suspect's identity before finally finding an image of Islam with his hood and mask down. Islam has been charged with 8 counts of attempted murder, assault and arson. He will be prosecuted by the Brooklyn District Attorney's Office. Apartment occupants received minor injuries and were treated at a local hospital in Jamaica, Queens, according to the fire department of New York. Now, the stories are coming out that They had to flee to the roof. What happened was the parents began putting the kids out of the window so that neighbors could catch their kids from the second floor. The fire department had to come in and save two of the children. The parents had to flee to the roof. I do not know what you people want from me. I have no idea what you people want from me. The man was willing to burn down the property with children in there, with the parents in there, and 6 children. I don't know what y'all want from me. I literally have no idea what y'all want from me. I just don't know. This is what we got going on. I mean, I cannot find any amusement in this story. I can't find any silver lining. I can't find any way to have any amount of comedic relief when the man. There are pictures of the fire, and it looks like a goddamn this shit would have burned up. If they say it took the police an hour, they said it took almost a dozen fire trucks, and it took the police and a little over an hour to get the fire under control. They had to put the children out of the window and have neighbors try to catch them from the second floor. I don't know what y'all want from me. I don't know what y'all want from me. Morgan, he did not care. And how asinine is it? So if it's your property, so you're willing to burn down your own property, right? I guess you figure you're gonna get an insurance settlement or something like that. And you know what? I guarantee you this isn't even his property because they say the term landlord, but what this sounds like to me, this is probably somebody who was like the superintendent or the landlord, the man that you paid the money, but the building was owned by someone else or some other entity, and it was his job to go and collect rent. That's what it sounds like to me because I just don't see somebody literally burning their property to the ground over unpaid rent. Like, that's why they have the court system where you can go and have someone legally evicted. Trust me, if the people had the money, they would have paid you the rent. Let's be clear. 98% of the people who are late on rent are not just saying, "Oh, I'm just not going to pay him." They probably don't have the money. So now you are literally about to off people just for being poor. So now what you get for being poor is you get murdered. You get burned alive. Like this just doesn't make sense. In more sugar spiky news, y'all's boy is in the news. NBA young boy. Why? Because there are claims now that his ex is claiming that he had two women brutally attack her while she was holding her son, who is the son of NBA YoungBoy. Let me read this to you. According to Arcola, the mother of one of NBA YoungBoy's children, the rapper recently had two women brutally attack her over a disagreement they had regarding their young son, Kyle Gordon. This evening, and that was yesterday evening, I should say, she took to X, formerly known as Twitter, and fired off a series of allegations against NBA YoungBoy. In the first post, she wrote, quote, "Watch who you have kids by. My son dad let his whores, yes, whores with an S, cause it, because it was two of them, weak ass hoes. He gave them an order to get me. Laugh out loud. You know bitches who never came from shit gonna do it. My son was in my hands. His dad just sat back and watched, shaking my head." End of quote. That was the first post. The second post said, quote, "Mind you, I dropped my son off the end of August. He wanted me to come get him 2 weeks into him being there. So I told him, keep him 2 more weeks. He was pissed, laughed my ass off. I just feel like if you ain't gonna help me financially, you gonna help physically." Let me tell you something. So allegedly they pistol whipped her or something like that. She got pictures of herself with blood coming down. Ma'am. Now listen, before I get to NBA fuckboy, ma'am. See, this is what I mean. Y'all run around here with chasing human fecal matter, chasing the least of us, chasing people not fit for human existence. You go around here and chase human fecal matter and wonder why you look and smell like shit in the aftermath. This is NBA fuckboy. What did you expect was going to happen? You didn't exactly lay in bed with a Rhodes Scholar. You didn't exactly lay in bed with someone who's known for making the right decisions or having proper choicing skills. You laid in bed with the likes of NBA fuckboy. I don't even understand why you would even want your child around him. That's first of all. If you maybe you had a momentary lapse in judgment, you went and got your box beat in by him, a baby came out of it. But baby, listen, let me tell you something. When that baby came, you should have said, self, I'm not gonna subject my child to that shit. Nope. I learned my lesson. I'm gonna go over here and I'm not gonna be bothered. I'm not gonna be one of these statistics. But you wanted that. You were chasing the glitz and the glamour of his rap career and him carrying all of these stacks of monies and all of this fuckboy shit. And you laid down with human fecal matter as if you weren't going to leave smelling like shit and surrounded with fucking flies. Now, let's get to NBA fuckboy. So I'm trying to understand because this is the same young man who we just reported on the other day was complaining because he had depression and he was losing weight because of his depression, and he was mad that he was under house arrest. Isn't NBA young boy Where's Xavier? Xavier, come to the front. Xavier, is the NBA young boy the same one who was dating Floyd Mayweather's daughter? Is that the same guy? I thought NBA young boy is the same one who was dating Floyd Mayweather's daughter. Is that the same? Is that him? Okay, it is. Thank you, Volvo. Because remember, Floyd Mayweather's daughter was the one who stabbed a pregnant woman who also was dating NBA fuckboy. Like, what did you think this was? And my question to the American criminal justice system, why the fuck is he still out among us regular people? Why the fuck is he even offered house arrest? Why is he still among us? Why is he not in prison fighting off the next man's maker stick being shoved into his unlubricated rectum? Like, I'm so confused. Why is living, breathing human excrement still allowed to be the fuck amongst us? Because he's supposed to be over there fighting Rufus and Roscoe off over there on the bottom bunk in his jail cell while they enter his body with their erect maker sticks being shoved into his unlubricated anus. Throw him away. Throw his ass away. Throw his ass away. If he tells the girlfriends to do it, he's still culpable. I'm just saying. Whether he does it or says, yeah, go do that, he's still culpable. Like, why are you here? Why? I just, Jesus God. I gotta move. I just don't. Where the fuck are we going? God of mercy, God of love. So y'all listen. Gilbert Arenas, Kenyon Martin, and Brandon Jennings, all former NBA players, were on this podcast talking about all of the rules that they had for dealing with skanks and groupies and, you know, all of that stuff. What has come out of this is a peek inside of the culture within the NFL, the NBA, the MLB, and major professional sports, and some of the awful, just horrible things that they have subjected women to over the years. This isn't a new phenomenon. That's what they were showing. They were showing that this goes way back to our parents and grandparents' days. Let me read you some of the things that have been brought to light. So they first started talking about Magic Johnson. They said Magic Johnson regularly hooked up with groupies in the team sauna after games. Magic Johnson, the story says for Magic Johnson, the scoring carried over from the court to the team sauna, as it was reported by Jerry West that he was introducing a, quote, little magic into the lives of LA's finest groupies prior to post-game interviews. Prior to post-game interviews, he would go get little quickies before they went and talk to the press. Then they talk about Charles Haley. Charles Haley played in the late 80s and 90s and during the 90s. Let me read this. According to author Jeff Pearlman, the Naked Warrior was the nickname that Charles Haley gave himself. If ever there was a story that truly exemplified locker room insanity, this is it. Charles Haley repeatedly whipped out his erection and jerked off inches from the faces of unsuspecting teammates who initially laughed off the trauma because that has to be a joke, right? If you don't get it, it's because you don't get high art. Eventually, it got to a point where he pull it out in front of Joe Montana and say, quote, "You know you want to suck this," end of quote. He would even bash his God. He would even, dear Lord, he would even whip it out and masturbate to ejaculation in team meetings while talking about his teammates' wives. His penis wasn't the only thing he strangled during film sessions, as he also reportedly choked Coach George Seifert in 1991. In the same year, he pissed on the floor of team president Carmen Policy. It wasn't until he got into a physical confrontation with Steve Young that he finally was traded to the Dallas Cowboys. While in Dallas, Haley questioned a new teammate in the crudest terms possible by saying, quote, "You're from California? You must be a fucking faggot," end of quote. At that point, Haley would whip out his erection again, masturbate in front of the man to reaffirm his own heterosexuality. Moving along to the great state of Boston, the team is the New England Patriots. We're going to type in Zeke Mowat. In September of 1990, Boston sports reporter Lisa Olson was confronted by a handful of semi-nude Patriots doing their best to keep their garments on in the locker room while she was conducting interviews. Zeke Mowat approached Lisa Olson butt naked and said, quote, "Is this what you want? Do you want to take a bite out of this?" End of quote. Lisa Olson stormed out in the middle of the interview with cornerback Maurice Hurst and left the premises. She then told the team owner, who at the time was Victor Kiem II, who said to her, quote, "Couldn't disagree with the player's action at all. A classic bitch." End of quote. That's what they said. There's another incident. What I mean, where there's another incident where another dear God, I'm trying to make it through this. God help me. Where on on one of the on a Major League Baseball team. They were going through a slump, and it's being reported that coming back from a winless road trip, Nick Swisher attempted a little known third world ritual intended to break a team wide offensive hex. So, a female reporter saw two blow up dolls in the back of the locker room, then witnessed two players, quote, sodomizing the blow up dolls with both of their baseball bats, only one made out of wood. You do that math. Just a mess. Just a whole ass mess. But the whole the Kenyon Martin, Brandon Jennings, and Gilbert Arenas thing, they talked about, they would play tricks like if you and another player had the same groupie skank, they would play these games to see who she liked the best. So one would text her and say, "Oh, I'm on my way." A minute or two later, the other teammate would text her and say, "Oh, I'm on my way over," and they would see which one she would respond to and allow over. It's just a goddamn mess. It's just a goddamn mess. Just a goddamn mess. Lord help us, God, Jesus, Lord. I just can't. This is what we have going on. But shout out to in a serious moment though. Shout out to all of the women sports journalists, especially back in the day, some of the early days, the Pam Olivers of the world, and a lot of women back in the 90s and things that were revolutionary and and breaking down walls and barriers in sports journalists that had to endure some of the worst, treatment on earth. Hey, Ravine, just a mess. In celebrity news, so for all y'all excited about Ursh and his Las Vegas residency, which I believe is ending soon. I believe um Usher's Vegas residency is ending, I think, this year or next year. Never fear, because if you need Black Boy Joy, New Edition will be having a Las Vegas residency. And they took to social media on Sunday to announce that they would be having a Las Vegas residency, 6 shows from February 28th through March 9th of next year at the Wynn Las Vegas Hotel. Oh, Usher said he gonna give a world tour. Okay. So if you want to see New Edition, they having a Las Vegas residency. You can go see them. I believe tickets are already no, they say tickets go on sale Friday at 10 a.m. Pacific. Go ahead and get your tickets. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. In other boy band news, boy band fuckboy Brian Angel from the legendary group Day 26, because we all know Day 26. We know every song of Day 26. We know all the lyrics, all of the ad libs. We're clamoring for the next Day 26 album to come out, because nothing would bring the Black community more joy than getting another EP or LP by goddamn Day 26. So he's been listed on a child support evader's website for allegedly owing over $200,000. Let me read this to you. Brian Angel has become, this is according to the Jasmine brand. I mean, what do y'all want from me? What do y'all want from me? I'm doing the best I can, okay? Jesus. Brian Angel has become a hot topic on X, formerly known as Twitter. Can I just say I get tired of saying X, formerly known as Twitter? Can we just go back to calling it Twitter, please? Please. Brian Angel has become a hot topic on X, formerly known as Twitter, for something other than his musical talents. He has musical talents? Okay. Recently, a user on the social media platform formerly known as Twitter posted what appeared to be a screenshot of the Texas Child Support Evaders website, which lists individuals who are behind on child support payments. It didn't take long for people to spot a familiar face on the infamous list: 43-year-old Brian Olatunde Andrews, who now professionally goes by Brian Angel. The entertainer is most known for his time as a member of the R&B group Day 26. According to the listing, Brian Angel owes $266,115 for just one child. I don't know that he made that much money in the entirety of his whole music career. I don't know that he's made $266,115 in the entirety of his music career. Now, they said he could owe more because the site claims that the listed six-figure amount is corrected as of Monday, July 13th, 2020. So it ain't been updated since the pandemic, since July 13th, 2020. So that's 3 years ago. A mess. Just a mess. He was never that cute to me. Like, ladies, y'all out here letting, I mean, if you gonna sleep with the Day 26 people, Brian just wasn't the one that we was. Brian, I would have let the fat boy get some before Brian. Ew. I guess. Child, if you like it, I love it. I guess, honey. Brian, listen. Brian is round here beating the kids' blocks in. Do you hear me? He is round here giving you the best that he got, baby. So listen, TJ Holmes and that hoe. Oh, I'm sorry. What's her name? What's the chick name? TJ Holmes and that hoe, that white hoe. What's her name? I don't know. Girl, I don't know. So apparently, they are, social media. They all over social media, right? Whatever her name is. They managed to score a podcast deal with iHeartRadio. And according to new reports, TJ Holmes and that hoe both received a $50,000 sign-on bonus ahead of the start of their podcast. So nobody decided to pick them up. Everybody said, baby, we don't have time for y'all and y'all toxicity, okay? The people not here for y'all. The people ain't checking for y'all. So what happens is They decided to get a deal with iHeartRadio because iHeartRadio will put anybody on there. Um, and they got a $50,000 signing bonus, each of them. I mean, I guess you got to get that how you live, baby. You need all the money you can get, honey. I ain't mad at it. I am not mad at it. I'm here. I mean, TJ Holmes 15 years ago was the boo thing, but move over TJ Holmes. My frat brother done took over for you, and he's just as fine as wine. What's his name? What's my frat brother name that took over for him? I can't think of his name. What's his name, y'all? The cute one that's there now. He plays at Jackson State too. God, what's his name? Y'all will tell me in the comments. Oh man, what's his name? Y'all will tell me in the comments. Anyway, where we at? Jamie Foxx is in the news. DeMarcus, thank you. Thank you, Monk Chip. Thank you. See, I knew one of y'all had it for me. DeMarco Morgan, thank you. I remember he plays the Delta chapter at Jackson State. He's so thin. He's so thin. I hope they talk about their affair. Tell us to see. Girl, I don't want to know nothing. I don't want to know nothing. I promise you I don't. So Jamie Foxx, you know, he's dating some Australian white woman who's supposed to be a businesswoman. He's dating some Australian white woman that's a businesswoman or whatnot, who he's shoving his little meat into. So apparently he's letting his family and friends know that his health scare gave him a newfound look on life. And now he's saying that he wants to have another kid with this white woman and he wants to tie the knot with her. Whether or not it's going to happen, we don't know. Y'all know, listen. Her name is Elise Huckstep. I don't know what she do. All I know is they say she's a businesswoman from Australia. He wants to continue to shove his meat in her box. He wants to have another child. It'll be his first child with her, but it won't be his first overall child. But he wants to have a child with her and he wants to marry her. Now they're saying his family and friends are saying, bro, it's a little too early. His pushback is this whole health scare taught me ain't nothing too early. Baby, I could be checking out real soon. Which white actress lady? I don't know. They said he was some white businesswoman named Elise Huckstep from Australia. That's all I know. You talk about Katie Holmes. I think he used to be with Katie Holmes, but I don't know, child. Listen, I don't have it to do. Uh, I told y'all after the whole health scare, I don't really have it to do with TJ Holmes like that. Girl, we don't see it for you like that, girl. Yeah. We don't see it for you like that, girl. Yeah. We don't see it for you like that, girl. I think it was Katie Holmes, Monk Chip. But my thing is, if you're scared of dying, why do you want to have another child? Because if you are that fearful of your death, that means that child could be growing up without their father. Like, child, I be trying to make sense of y'all people. I really be trying too hard to make sense of y'all people and what y'all got going on. We got two more stories and we're gonna get out of here. The first story is real quick, just real quick. So, oh, he got two children, 129 and 115. Oh, okay. So be happy. Girl, I don't know why these people be so hell bent on um thinking that a baby solves problems. No, sis, just narcissism. It is. Anyway, here's the first one. So Jordan Poole former member of the Golden State Warriors. Now his fine ass is over there with I almost said the Washington Bullets, going back with that with the Washington Wizards. So Cameron, I believe it was last week or a week before last, went out on his podcast and said that he heard that Jordan Poole had spent $500,000 on a date with Ice Spice. So Jordan Poole then came out and said, "Bruh, ain't none of that shit happened." He said, you know how the kids say nowadays. He say that's cap. That's the new word that the kids use nowadays. That when they say something is a lie or something ain't true, they be like, "Nah, that's cap. That's cap." You know, the new slang and lingo that the kids have and stuff like that. So he said it ain't true, and he ain't worried about what Cameron said, because Cameron's whole thing was, I was rooting for him because he had a whole incident, if you remember, before he left the before he left the Golden State Warriors. Remember, he got into that altercation with Draymond Green where they was in practice and Draymond Green punched him in the fucking face, like just decked him in the face. There was that whole scandal, child, and he was traded to the I think he was traded to the Milwaukee Bucks first, but I know he's with the Washington Wizards now. I ain't Miss Baythang. Anyway, but he said he did not spend no $500,000 on a date with no Ice Spice. Who's spending $500,000 on a date with Ice Spice? Like, really? Ice Spice? First of all, I ain't spending $500,000 on a date with nobody. Let's be clear. And if I was, it damn sure ain't gonna be no Ice Spice. In our last story of the day, so Kandi Burruss and Timbaland are, the people are saying that they are defending fucktard, fuckboy ass Justin Timberlake. I don't know if the Timbaland, here's what happened. Britney Spears put in her memoir that Justin Timberlake would put on a black scent when he would get around black artists and entertainers. Like he would do stuff like faux shizzle and all of that, try to put on black language and black lingo and have this black scent when he got around black artists, but that wasn't truly him. So not Justin Timberlake, Timbaland just basically came out and said, you need to put a muzzle on your girl. I ain't got no beef for Justin Timberlake, but he might just need to put a muzzle on his girl. Kandi came out and said, oh, let me tell you Candy's exact statement. I don't want to get Kandi wrong. Kandi said, quote, I thought it was funny. I don't want anybody to put down Justin, because you got to remember the times that we were going through at the time. The era of pop and R&B, it was a lot of boy bands that did like urban music, urban routines, and dancing. The whole image that was in at the time, and nobody was passing judgment. Right now, I feel like everything we used to do back in the day, people are getting canceled for now. At that time, nobody knew it was like a problem. That's end of quote. That's what she said. First of all, Kandi and Timbaland, y'all need to get off this. First of all, I don't got no beef for you, Timbaland. I don't want no beef for you, Timbaland, after this. So we don't need you around here protecting Justin Timberlake, okay? Kandi, we already have a checkered past. I don't hardly see it for you anyway, Kandi, at all, girl. So you out here protecting the likes of fuck bitch ass Justin Timberlake, girl, I'm not here for it. We don't want no. We do not. We here in the black delegation vehemently detest all parts of Justin Timberlake. There's no coming back for what he did to our Queen Janet. There's no coming back from it. There's no, can we talk about it? Can we think about it? The answer is no. Just like he didn't have no protection for Janet, just like he went radio silent when Janet went through all of that scrutiny, just like he didn't want to have nothing to do with helping to, protect Janet, and the fact that he was the orchestrator of all of that, while we over here trying to protect his ass. Fuck him and fuck his life. Let that bitch die slowly. We don't care about Justin Timberlake. And I believe every goddamn word Brittany said. I believe Brittany is telling the goddamn truth. Y'all don't need to be out here caping for him. Y'all don't need to be out here talking about fuck bitch ass Justin Timberlake. Let's be clear. Justin Timberlake falls in the line of white pop singers and white men and female singers for that matter, but mainly white men from the annals of times whose stinking ass has copied black music, stolen back black music, misappropriated our culture and our music, and put on the cloak of blackness when it was convenient for them, when there was dollars surrounding it, when it meant more money for them, for their white asses, and less money for our black asses. So fuck Justin Timberlake and fuck his whole life. The bitch can die slowly. Candy, you know I already don't see it for you. And if you want to go down this Justin Timberlake train, you can. If that's the hill you want to die on, take your ass over there and die. But we're not here for no parts of Justin Timberlake. I believe everything Brittany said. Justin Timberlake gives me that type of white boy who wants to fit it. Just think about if you were alive during that time. Think about how hard Justin Timberlake's bitch ass was trying to fit in at that time, was trying to be down with all of the black artists at that time. I believe every single word Brittany said. I never bought him. Fuck him. And Candy, you need to get up off this. You got your own shit you need to be worried about, Candy. You do not need to be worried about what Justin Timberlake got going on. Girl, y'all got a lot of nerves. A lot of nerves. Right. You're exactly, Morgan. Thank you. You need to be worried about getting your restaurants in order. What you could be doing is trying to pay for a goddamn generator at that raggedy ass restaurant you got over there that keep making C's and D's on her C and D ratings when the health inspector comes and shit. Girl. Y'all saw Tasha K got in a fight yesterday. Girl, I don't know what it was about. I don't care. I don't even follow Tasha K. I don't even care. But did she get beat up? Because if you're not telling me Tasha K got beat up, I don't want to know. Spicy Original says, right, fuck Justin Timberlake forever. Right. And that's on our queen, Janet Demita Joe Jackson. We don't want no parts of his. We don't want no parts of him. None. We do not care about him. We don't want no parts of him. The bitch can go somewhere and die slowly. Oh, she didn't get beat up? Damn. I wanted her to get beat up. Damn. Shit. Damn it. Wanted her to get beat up. God damn it. Anyway, we about to get out of here. That's all we got for y'all today. Listen, I'm going to send y'all over to Really B. Really B getting ready to go live. I'm going to send y'all over there. Listen. They protected her and she kicked someone child. So she going to have another lawsuit coming. The woman ain't got two nickels to rub against each other. Okay? Y'all sue her for what? Girl, fool. Anyway, listen, we're going to be back around here at 8 o'clock, y'all, to talk all things Housewives of Potomac. I'm about to get out of here. That's all I got for y'all. Until next time. Oh, I ain't even say what I was supposed to say. See, I be forgetting y'all. Y'all know what I'm supposed to say. I love y'all. I love on y'all. Thank you all for being vocal president actor. Thank you for doing what you do. Thank you for any and all contributions that you make to the channel. They are much obliged. They're much appreciated. I hope you have fun today. I sure did. We'll be back tomorrow probably to do some more things. I'll be watching election coverage tonight to make sure I can bring you that news tomorrow. So look around for some election coverage tomorrow so we can report on all of those things. That's all I got for y'all. Until next time, thank y'all for coming. Y'all drive safely. I'm out.